Welcome back, students. Very good evening to all of you. I hope you enjoyed the last two sessions of PYQ series. Here in this video, we will analyze, solve other questions asked in 2024 MA English exam. And I hope students, what I have recommended today, all those books you have gone through, you have at least studied the summary of all those prescribed texts, because you know all those works, all those major works, all those major books are really very important from the perspective of your exam. Maybe in next upcoming exam, like upcoming exam of CUET 2025, questions will be asked. That is why I am dealing every question, each and every options in very detailed manner, right? So let's start today's session with the work of detective fiction. The first question is there on your screen is related to detective novels. And you know student, detective fiction is one of the emerging research areas in English literature. In many top universities of India like JNU, DU and BHU, and of course in many IITs, this particular research areas is emerging. Many research scholars are pursuing research on this particular topic of detective fiction. So the first, from this fact, you can guess that NTA is asking question on trending topics, on contemporary topics, right? And detective fiction is one of them. First of all, we will get to know what actually detective fiction is and what are major works come under the category of detective fiction. So, first of all, we will look at the question. Place the famous fictional detectives in order of their first literary appearance. And you have in your options these four detective fictions, right? Byomkesh Bakshi, Sherlock Holmes, very popular, very important, Hercules Poirot, okay, and Dupont. So now let's know about detective fiction. It is of course a subgenre of crime fiction and mystery fiction in which an investigator or a detective, whether professional, amateur or retired, investigates a crime, often murder. Crime related to murder, right? As the title itself suggesting, it's detective fiction, right? So any day you can say any detective, either it is professional, retired or current, you can say working, that detect a crime. That is why the genre is named as detective fiction. Let's know about the option which has mentioned here, the four options. The first option is Byomkesh Bakshi. It appeared for the very first time in the year 1934 and appearance was there in the volume of in the work like Satyanveshi is an Indian Bengali fiction. Remember this as well, because next time they can ask this question, that Byomkesh Bakshi is an example of which kind of fiction, right? It is related to which language? So remember, it is related to Indian Bengali language. It is a kind of Indian Bengali detective fiction which first appeared in Satyanveshi in the year 1934 and created by Sharadindu Bandyopadhyay. As the name you can see, you can be clear in your fact that Bandyopadhyay is a Bengali title. So from here you can take 2-3 facts related to detective fiction. First, what detective fiction is, and the particular work that Byomkesh Bakshi, which first appeared in the work like Satyanveshi and created by Sharadindu Bandyopadhyay. These facts are really very important for your upcoming exam, student. So focused here, take all these facts in your mind and write down there in your notebook, right? Another option which is Sherlock Holmes everybody knows, everybody might have studied. It first appeared in the year 1887. From here, from remembering the appearance, the year of the appearance of these detective novels, you can correct that question, because in your question you have been asked like you will have to know the chronology, the ascending order or descending order of publication or the appearances of this detective fiction. So Sherlock Holmes appeared in the year 1887, and it first appeared in A Study in the Scarlet. This volume, this novel you have to remember, because this is very important. Another question you can expect from this detective नॉवेल. ओके, नेक्स्ट टाइम आपसे ये क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है कि जो ब्योमकेश बख्शी है, जो डिटेक्टिव फिक्शन है, पहली बार किस वर्क के रूप में अपीयर हुआ था, किस ईयर में अपीयर हुआ था. तो उस पर्पज से उस फैक्ट को सही करने के लिए आपका ये जानना बहुत ज़रूरी है कि ये जो पहला फिक्शन है, जो पहला डिटेक्टिव फिक्शन है, वो 1934 में सत्यान्वेशी वर्क में अपीयर हुआ था. शेरलॉक होम्स जो है 1887 में अ स्टडी इन द स्कारलेट में अपीयर हुआ था. इज अ फिक्शनल डिटेक्टिव क्रिएटेड बाय ब्रिटिश ऑथर आर्थर कॉनन डॉयल. एंड स्टूडेंट, इट्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन योर एग्जाम. दे हैव आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन मेनी टाइम्स that who has created a detective fiction Sherlock Holmes. Remember the name Arthur Conan Doyle. I know many of you have studied this particular detective fiction because it's really very popular in English literature. Let's know another detective fiction, that is Hercule Poirot. Okay, Poirot is a fictional Belgian detective, okay, created by whom? British writer Agatha Christie. You know her because you know him, Agatha Christie, because the particular detective fiction, that is Poirot, Christie's most famous and long running characters, appearing in 33 novels. See, it has appeared in 33 novels. Two plays that are Black Coffee and Alibi. Of course you can remember the name, but these much depth, like NTA cannot go in such depth. NTA cannot ask like in which two plays Agatha Christie's fiction appeared. See, it is such a long running character, this particular detective fiction, which appeared in 33 novels, 2 plays, and also 51 short stories published between 1920 and 1970. 1920 and 1970, right? This year you have to keep in your mind. The last option, the last detective fiction mentioned in your syllabus, that is Auguste Dupin, is a fictional character created by Edgar Allan Poe. You can say Dupont. And Dupont made his first appearance in Poe's short story, that is The Murder in the Rue Morgue, right? Widely considered the first detective fiction story. He appears in The Mystery of Mary Roget and The Purloined Letter. Give me one minute, student. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so yes, I was saying the last option, that is Dupont, which is also known as Dupin. That particular detective fiction, fictional character created by Edgar Allan Poe. You know him, Edgar Allan Poe is very important. So from here, from this option, just read about Arthur Conan Doyle and Sherlock Holmes, Edgar Allan Poe, and also Agatha Christie. These detectives writer are really very important from the perspective of your exam. So after this class, read about them. At least you can Google, you can know about them. you should have knowledge, you should have factual knowledge about them, because these writers are really important. I hope this particular question is clear to you, from where you can see for the very first time which detective fiction appeared. As you know, Beaumains Bugsy, the year of appearance is 1934, Sherlock Holmes 1887, and Edgar Allan Poe's 1841. So last will be the first, like D, okay, B and A and C, right? Because in last, the latter year of publication is C, that is Beaumains Bugsy, the first, A. So I hope this question is clear to you, right student? Let's know about other question. Let's jump to the another question and let's analyze this. It's kind of easy question, you can imagine. It's related to literary awards and events. Question on your screen is, match the literary awards in list 1 with their correct description in list 2. And in list 1 you have been provided 4 novels: Booker Prize, Hugo Award, Pulitzer Prize and Nobel Prize in Literature. Now you will have to see, you will have to match these awards in particular field, right student? You will have to match particular award in particular award given in the particular field. So you know, Booker Prize awarded annually for the best novel written in English and published in the United Kingdom or Ireland. These are the basic criteria. बुकर प्राइज किसको दिया जाता है? बुकर प्राइज लिटरेचर में बुकर प्राइज it's given to, is awarded annually for the best novel written in English and published in UK and or Ireland. And Hugo Award is whom? It's A, like recognizes outstanding achievement in science fiction and fantasy literature. जो science fiction और fantasy literature का जो major works होता है वहाँ यूजो अवार्ड उस ऑथर को मिलता है. नेक्स्ट यू हैव पुलिट्जर प्राइज. दैट पुलिट्जर प्राइज इज अवॉर्डेड टू ऑनर्स एक्सेप्शनल वर्क इन द फील्ड ऑफ जर्नलिज्म, लिटरेचर एंड म्यूजिकल कंपोजिशन. एंड ऑफ कोर्स एवरीबडी नोज अबाउट नोबेल प्राइज इन लिटरेचर. दैट it honors actually recognizes authors regardless of nationality who have produced in the field of literature the most distinguished work in idealistic direction. So I hope this question is easy to you. And in your syllabus, in your official syllabus, the last point has been mentioned, that is literary trends, events and awards. There we will be studying in detailed manner in which year which author has got the particular award, like Sahitya Academy Award in Indian Writing in English, Nobel Prize in Literature, Booker Prize, Man Booker Prize, International Booker Prize, Pulitzer Prize, right? I hope that question is also clear to you. So the another question on your screen is related to genre, text and genre. One side in the box it has mentioned a name of the text, and of course these texts are really very important. These books are masterpieces produced in literature. As you can read the title of these works: Paradise Lost, Dunciad, King Lear and also Porphyria's Lover by Robert Browning. Other side is related to genre. What kind of genre of this particular text? That dramatic monologue, either it is satire, epic or tragedy. You have to match. I hope student in your UG program you might have studied many these major works like Paradise Lost, Porphyria's Lover, also King Lear and the Dunciad. Let's know about these works in like even I cannot deal each work in detailed manner here in this series, but I can try. I have tried to give you some facts, some important facts related to this. So let's know about Paradise Lost. As you know, it is an epic poem written in blank verse. यहाँ से जो आपका अपकमिंग एग्जाम है उसमें पूछा ये भी जा सकता है, इवन बहुत बार पूछा भी गया है कि पैराडाइज लॉस्ट का जो लिटरेरी स्टाइल है, जो राइटिंग स्टाइल है, वो क्या है. याद रखिएगा, इट हैज़ बिन रिटेन, इट इज़ रिटेन इन ब्लैंक वर्स. It was written by John Milton in blank verse, and it appeared for the very first time in 1667. Although a second edition of Paradise Lost appeared in the year 1674. And another fact you can take from here, that Paradise Lost contained 10 books, right? It consisted of 10 books, but later in the first edition there were 10 books, but in the second edition of 1674 it was there in 12 books. Okay, 12 books. So these kinds of facts, these are basic facts related to Paradise Lost. You have to remember, you have to keep in your memory. First thing, that Paradise Lost is an epic poem. This fact can be asked to you. Another thing, that Paradise Lost in the first volume appeared in 10 books. In second edition, which appeared in the year 1674, appeared in 12 books. Okay, and it was written in blank verse, right? We know. Okay, just comment me there in comment box, what do you mean by blank verse? Okay, I know you have studied, some of you know this as well, what blank verse is. Dryden was the first to say that about Paradise Lost. John Dryden, you might know, student, you have studied John Dryden's work, Macflake, no? John Dryden, one of the representative author of Restoration period, neoclassical period, he stated about Paradise Lost that Satan is the real hero of Paradise Lost. This statement also can be asked to you, that who has stated that Satan is the real hero of Paradise Lost. Remember the statement stated by the particular line stated by John Dryden. Milton opens his particular poems Paradise Lost with the subject that humankind's first act of disobedience towards God, and it starts that of man's first disobedience and the fruit of that forbidden tree whose mortal taste brought death into the world and all our woe. This is the opening line of the epic poem Paradise Lost. Many times, several times, they have asked this question, that which of the following is the opening line of an epic poem Paradise Lost? So keep in your memory, it starts from here, it starts to declare that of man's first disobedience, right? The act is Adam and Eve's eating forbidden fruit of the tree of knowledge, and that is why it's kind of, they have actually they done blunder with themselves, they acted wrong, that's why this world created. If you will go through this particular epic poem, although it's very voluminous, you will enjoy, you will learn so many mythical facts, mythical terms, and also ancient literature, right? The poem concerns the biblical story of the fall of man. This particular summarized fact, the conclusive line also can be asked to you. What's the theme or what's the fact is there in Paradise Lost? Okay, so Paradise Lost, that concerns the biblical story of the fall of man, the temptation of Adam and Eve by the fallen angel Satan, and their expulsion from the Garden of Eden. Although this is the basic fact related to Paradise Lost, and I hope students you are getting me and you will keep in your mind all these facts, because in upcoming exam these facts will help you for sure. I hope Paradise Lost is clear to you. So in question, Paradise Lost is what's the genre of Paradise Lost? Of course you can match to epic. Okay, Paradise Lost is an epic poem, right student? It is an epic poem. A to 3. Now let's know about Porphyria's Lover. Porphyria's Lover is written by Robert Browning. Robert Browning, who is famously known for writing dramatic monologue. See, there are two things. There are two literary style of writing: dramatic monologue and soliloquy. I hope you understand this. If you don't know, please read from M.H. Abrams, dramatic monologue and also soliloquy, right? And in next class, give me an example of literary works which are example of dramatic monologues, and those works and those characters, you can say, which are example of soliloquy, right? So Porphyria's Lover, which appeared in the year 1836, is Browning's first ever short dramatic monologue. And dramatic monologue, now let me clear what dramatic monologue is. Dramatic monologue is a type of poetry written in the form of a speech of an individual character. Form of a speech of an individual character. और soliloquy में क्या होता है कि एक particular एक single character monotonously बोलते रहता है और ऑडियंस सुनती है. इट इज़ देयर इन प्ले, राइट? आपको इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में जो फेमस सॉलिलॉक्वी है वो हैमलेट का याद होगा. ये क्वेश्चन भी आप, ये फैक्ट भी आप यहाँ से याद रखिए कि इस क्लास के बाद आपको देखना है कि हैमलेट का सॉलिलॉक्वी किस एक्ट और किस सीन में, जो हैमलेट ने ट्रेजेडी लिखी है, हैमलेट की सॉलिलॉक्वी किस एक्ट और किस सीन में फेमस है. लेट मी नो इन नेक्स्ट क्लास, ओके? बिकॉज क्वेश्चंस हैज बीन आस्क्ड फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर फैक्ट. Another, so Porphyria's Lover is an example of dramatic monologue. ड्रामेटिक मोनोलॉग जब भी आएगा आप रॉबर्ट ब्राउनिंग का नाम मत भूलिएगा, क्योंकि रॉबर्ट ब्राउनिंग इज़ फेमसली नोन फॉर राइटिंग ड्रामेटिक मोनोलॉग्स. एंड येस, वन मोर थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू ऐड हियर, आपको और भी ड्रामेटिक मोनोलॉग्स के एग्जाम्पल को देखना है, जैसे कि टेनिसन का जो यूलिसिस है, या फिर कोई अदर रिप्रेजेंटेटिव राइटर्स हैं, मेजर ऑथर्स हैं, उनका जो मेजर वर्क्स है जो ड्रामेटिक मोनोलॉग की कैटेगरी में फॉल करता है, आप उसे बताइएगा. Got this? So let's know about King Lear. King Lear, you know, it's very easy. It's tragedy. It is one of the great tragedies ever written by Shakespeare, including Hamlet, Tempest, and Othello. Othello, you know, Hamlet also you have studied, because these texts are prescribed in UG program in many universities of India. Let's know about the Dunciad, written by Alexander Pope. If three options you have matched here, obviously it will be satire, but let's know more about Dunciad. Dunciad is a satirical poem, mock heroic poem. The tragedy of King Lear appeared in the year in between 1605 to 06, right? And of course it is a tragic play which revolves around a king's life, which undergoes in a massive change because of her 3 daughters. So a famous line, a famous quotation I have mentioned here, which might be asked to you in your exam, that when we are born we cry that we are come to this great stage of fools. Very famous line stated by Shakespeare, written by William Shakespeare in his play King Lear. Okay, tragedy of King Lear. The complete title of the tragedy King Lear is The Tragedy of King Lear, which appeared in between 1605 to 6. The Dunciad is a landmark mock heroic satirical narrative poem by Alexander Pope, published in 3 different versions at different times from 1728 to 1743. यहाँ से आपको ये 2 लिटरेरी टर्म्स एम.एच. एब्रम से देखना है, वो है मॉक हीरोइक एंड सैटारिकल नैरेटिव और सटायर. मॉक हीरोइक, यू नो स्टूडेंट, मॉक हीरोइक, एज द टाइटल इटसेल्फ इज सजेस्टिंग कि किसी भी ट्रिवियल सब्जेक्ट मैटर को बहुत बढ़ा चढ़ाकर बताया जाता है. You might have read The Rape of the Lock by Alexander Pope. The Rape of the Lock, as a title itself is suggesting, it's about lock. Lock means hair, right? So एक लॉक को, लाइक बेलिंडा के लॉक को कितना एग्जेजरेट करके, कितना बढ़ा चढ़ा के एक ट्रिवियल सब्जेक्ट मैटर को कितने सिग्निफिकेंटली बढ़ा चढ़ा के उस कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी सोसाइटी, जो रेलेवेंट सोसाइटी है, जो सर्कमस्टांसेज हैं उस टाइम के, उसके इशूज़ को इस पर्टिकुलर मॉक हीरोइक पोएम द रेप ऑफ द लॉक के द्वारा दिखाया गया है. तो जब ट्रिवियल सब्जेक्ट मैटर को बहुत बड़ा बना के, बहुत एग्जेजरेट करके सिग्निफिकेंटली सोसाइटी को करेक्ट करने के लिए, या फिर जो एक हायरार्की है उसको करेक्ट करने के लिए लिखी जाती है कोई भी लिटरेरी वर्क, उसको मॉक हीरोइक पोएम कहते हैं. आपका होमवर्क है कि आप एम.एच. एवरम से मॉक हीरोइक पोएम को पढ़ोगे और जो प्रोमिनेंट, जो फेमस मॉक हीरोइक पोएम्स के एग्जाम्पल हैं आप उसे देखोगे. ठीक है, आई होप सो दिस क्वेश्चन इज क्लियर टू यू. वंस अगेन आई एम going through this question that Paradise Lost is an example of epic, Porphyria's Lover is an example of dramatic monologue, King Lear is of course a tragedy, and the Dunciad is a mock heroic satirical poem. I hope this question is clear to you student. If आपके आने वाले एग्ज़ाम में इन चारों वर्क से क्वेश्चन आता है, ये चारों ऑथर्स को भी आप पढ़िएगा, सिर्फ ये वर्क नहीं, ये इन ऑथर्स ने और भी कई मेजर वर्क्स लिखे हैं, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट वर्क्स लिखे हैं, वो भी आप पढ़िएगा. ऑल्दो इन पेड बैच वी विल डील इन डिटेल्ड अबाउट ऑल दीज ऑथर्स, all those major works, literary movements and everything, whatever there in syllabus. Even we will deal many facts, many sections of literature which are not there in your syllabus. Okay. So now there's a question is related to mask performance. Okay, it is related to mask performance. Mask is a kind of you can say performance, theatrical performance, which was there in 16th or 17th century in England. Which of the following is true for mask performance? In option A, it has mentioned masks were important theatrical forms during the reign of James I and Charles I. They were performed in private royal halls. They were inexpensive. And also inexpensive to mount and had simple costumes and minimal stage designs. The last option is the designer of the most successful mask was Inigo Jones. So as I know, this particular option 3 you can consider, but let's know about mask. And as I have already stated, it was popular there in 16th or 17th century, 16th and 17th century in England, and it was played mainly in aristocratic family or king's court. So the first option is correct. Of course, masks were important theatrical forms during the reign of James I and Charles I. You can understand Jacobean age and also Restoration age. The option B, they were performed in private royal halls like in aristocratic family. It's really very true. The last option, that the designer of the most successful mask was Inigo Jones. Again, very important. So this particular option is correct here. After this class, I think this particular question requires basic information, that what mask writing, what mask theatrical performance is, and why it's popular in England in the in 16th and 17th century. I hope it's clear to you student. Let's know another question. Identify the thinker who is not associated with the Frankfurt School of Marxist Aesthetics. Very important school of Marxist Aesthetics, which was established in the year 1923. You have 4 options: Walter Benjamin, Howard Marcuse, Theodor Adorno and Louis Althusser, one of the most famous postmodernist, okay, postmodernist, also Marxist thinker you can say, not modernist. Anyway, let's know first about Frankfurt School of Indian Aesthetics, right? I hope in today's class your font is visible to you, right? Okay. So the Frankfurt School of Critical Theory was a collection of researchers and philosophers that came together to study the application of Marxism to philosophy and society. And there are many influential authors in the first generation of Frankfurt School, जो मेनली फोकस करता है फिलॉसफी, मार्क्सिज्म का जो एप्लीकेशन है वो अप्लाई होता है फिलॉसफी एंड सोसाइटी. The particular school of literature was established in the year 1923 at the place Frankfurt in Germany. Okay, and there are so many influential authors like you can see Herbert Marcuse, Max Horkheimer, Theodor Adorno. कल्चरल स्टडीज़ का नाम सुना है आपने? थियोडर एडोर्नो से मुझे याद आया कल्चरल स्टडी, आप कहीं नोट कर लेना, ये डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन भी आपसे पूछा जा सकता है, ठीक है. कल्चरल इंडस्ट्री जो टर्म है किसने कॉइन किया है? कल्चरल इंडस्ट्री जो टर्म है किसने कॉइन किया है? थियोडर एडोर्नो ने. ओके, सो ये सारे जो हैं, ये जो नाम आप देख रहे हो स्क्रीन पर, हैबरमास पोस्ट मॉडर्निस्ट एज वेल, लुई अल्थुजर, नॉट लुई अल्थुजर, ओके. Habermas is one of the representative writer of postmodernism literary critical theory, postmodernist literary critical theory. So these are influential figures associated with Frankfurt School. Now you can see the this particular options, these options: Walter Benjamin related to Frankfurt School, yes. Marcuse was there, Theodor Adorno was also there. Louis Althusser wasn't associated with this particular literary school of writing, so 4 is wrong. Althusser wasn't associated with Frankfurt School of Writing. Let's know other question on your screen, student, that is, which of the following is a part of Anthony Burgess' Malayalam? About Anthony Burgess first. Anthony Burgess. Who is Anthony Burgess actually? So John Anthony Burgess Wilson, who was born in the year 1917 and died in the year 1993, who published under the name of Anthony Burgess, was British writer and composer, and 2 works are very popular works written by Wilson. First one is, the question has been asked from this particular trilogy, that is the Malayan trilogy, which came in between 1956 to 1959, and the Malayan trilogy also published as the Long Day Wanes. स्टूडेंट, आपको एक होमवर्क मिलता है, यहाँ से आपको देखना है कि ये जो टाइटल है विल्सन ने कहाँ से लिया है. What is the source of this title? आपको पता करना है, and let me know in next class source of this title, because it's really important. यहाँ से आप एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हो, क्योंकि हम क्वेश्चन को एनालाइज बस इसीलिए कर रहे हैं कि हमें पता चल सके कि ये 4 ऑप्शन से इस क्वेश्चन के अलावा और क्या क्वेश्चन बन सकता है. That is why we are giving our time, we are working hard to analyze each and every option, each and every question asked in the year 2024. After finishing this particular PYQ's analysis of the year 2024, I will start another series, another PYQ series of where I'll solve another previous year question, okay, of another year like 23, 22, 21. So the Malayan trilogy is very famous, and in the Malayan trilogy there are 3 volumes. You have to remember these 3 volumes, that Time for a Tiger, The Enemy in the Blanket, and also Bates in the East. These 3 these 3 volumes are popular, are there in Malayan trilogy written by Anthony Wilson. Another work which is also very famous, that is A Clockwork Orange. Let's jump to the question, that which of the following is a part of Anthony Burgess Malayan trilogy. You can see students, you can analyze that ये अब तक हमने जितने भी क्वेश्चंस को देखा है, इससे तो एक चीज़ पता चलता है कि एनटीए कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी ब्रिटिश ऑथर या कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी राइटर से क्वेश्चन ज़्यादा पूछ रहा है, और वो कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी ऑथर ब्रिटिश हो ये ज़रूरी नहीं है, वो कैनेडियन भी हो सकते हैं, वो अफ्रीकन भी हो सकते हैं, वो अमेरिकन भी हो सकते हैं, वो बेल्जियन भी हो सकते हैं, जापानीज़ भी हो सकते हैं. तो आप कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी इंग्लिश लिटरेचर पर फोकस कीजिएगा. कॉन्टेम्प्रेरी लिटरेरी वर्क्स जो भी इंग्लिश में आ रहे हैं, आपको पता चल रहा है, प्लीज़ आप केयरफुली पढ़िएगा, आपका आने वाला एग्ज़ाम ईजी हो आपके लिए. तो आपने देखा अ क्लॉकवर्क ऑरेंज नहीं था, टाइम फॉर टाइगर था, द इनेमी इन ब्लैंकेट था, बेट्स इन द ईस्ट था मलायन ट्रायलॉजी में. तो जो लास्ट है अ क्लॉकवर्क ऑरेंज वो नहीं होगा. आई होप दिस क्वेश्चन इज ऑल्सो क्लियर टू यू. दीज 3 वॉल्यूम्स आर देयर इन मलायन ट्रायलॉजी रिटन बाय एंथनी विल्सन. Let's know another question. Which of the following works is attributed to Ben Jonson? Ben Jonson, very important author, very important writer of Elizabethan age, of Renaissance age. See, the four works are here in your options. The first, To the Memory of My Beloved, the author Mr. William Shakespeare, and What He Hath Left Us. Obviously, this particular poem is very famous, written by Ben Jonson, and you know The Changeling is by Middleton, The Sun Rising is by John Donne, The Duchess of Malfi by Webster. Yes, one more thing I would like to add here. Study about Restoration Jacobean dramas, okay, and study this particular work, The Duchess of Malfi, very important work written in Jacobean period by the author John Webster. And no, like The White Devils also is the work written by John Webster. So Duchess of Malfi, just read this particular work after this class, okay, because this work is really important. They have asked questions related to this work for several times in the exam. Let's know about Ben Jonson more, and I have mentioned here few opening lines of this beautiful poems written by Jonson. Ben Jonson, as you know, he was born in the year 1572 and died 1637. He was of course English playwright and poet. He was buried in Westminster Abbey. Westminster Abbey को पोएट्स कॉर्नर कहते हैं. ये क्वेश्चन भी BHU के एंट्रेंस में आया था, जब आपका CUET के अंडर में BHU नहीं था, जब सेपरेटली एग्ज़ाम कंडक्ट कराता था. पोएट्स कॉर्नर याद रखना आप. Arnold wrote a poem on Johnson entitled An Ode to Ben Jonson. ये वर्क याद रखिएगा. अगर आपसे पूछा जाएगा who has written an ode to Ben Jonson, remember it's Matthew Arnold, and it starts with the line, Ah Ben, say how or when shall we thy guest meet at those lyric feasts made at the Sun. Although I have mentioned these facts in detail about Ben Jonson, these are the critical comments by many representative authors like Matthew Arnold and John Dryden. John Dryden and Jonson. See, there are 2 Jonson in English literature. First is Johnson, Jonson, that is Ben Jonson, and another representative author, that is Samuel Johnson. Okay, John, right? T.S. Eliot has also acclaimed about Ben Jonson. Although these things we will study in our paid batch in detailed manner, there's no need to add here. For your knowledge, I have mentioned only. Okay, in last class I have recommended many books to you. I have suggested you to read. Any student have gone through all those suggested books? Any student have read that? If you have read, please let me know in the comment box, okay, so that I get to know that मेरे students कितना मेहनत कर रहे हैं, कितना dedicated हैं, कितना passionate हैं सीखने के लिए. तो बेन जॉनसन जो पॉपुलर राइटिंग स्टाइल के लिए जाने जाते हैं वो है कॉमेडी ऑफ ह्यूमर्स. कॉमेडी ऑफ ह्यूमर्स दो चीज़ें होती हैं, कॉमेडी ऑफ मैनर्स एंड कॉमेडी ऑफ ह्यूमर्स. ये दोनों आप देखना पेड बैच में, मैं इन दोनों को बहुत ही डिटेल्ड में पढ़ाऊंगी और आपको एग्जाम्पल भी दूंगी. ये सारे जो वर्क हैं, एवरी मैन इन हिज ह्यूमर, एवरी मैन आउट ऑफ हिज ह्यूमर, रिप्रेजेंटेटिव वर्क्स ऑफ बेन जॉनसन, वॉल्पन, द फॉक्स, अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, द एल्केमिस्ट, मास्टरपीस एवर produced by Ben Jonson, and there are other works as well you can read. So the opening lines of this particular poem I have mentioned here, you can see, you can look at the screen that the poem starts, the opening lines are, to draw no envy, Shakespeare, on thy name. Am I thus ample to thy book and fame, while I confess thy writings to be such, as neither man nor muse can praise too much. See how beautiful line is. 'Tis true and all men suffrage, but these ways were not the paths I mean unto thy praise. For silliest ignorance on these may light, which when it sounds at best but echoes right, or blind affection which doth near advance, never advance, the truth but gropes and urgeth all by chance, or crafty malice might pretend this praise, and think to ruin where it seemed to rage. How beautiful lines written by Ben Jonson in the particular poem, to the memory of my beloved the author William Shakespeare. ये question, I hope student, I believe in your memory power. I repeatedly said about this poem, and why I have mentioned opening lines, क्योंकि अगर question पूछा जाए तो आप गलत ना करो. और ये question बहुत बार पूछा जा चुका है कि particular poem को किसने लिखा है. Always remember it is written by Ben Jonson. I hope it is clear to you. Now the question is there on your screen is from Enlightenment age. Who out of the following are the seminal thinkers of the Enlightenment age? You have four options: Julia Kristeva, Michel Foucault, Immanuel Kant, and also René Descartes. Julia Kristeva, you know, she is related to post-colonialism and also feminist writing, okay. Michel Foucault, you know. So these two, of course, C and D, Immanuel Kant and René Descartes, both are related to Enlightenment age. Enlightenment age, that is also known as scientific age, regent age. Let's know about Enlightenment age in detail. The age of Enlightenment or the Enlightenment was a philosophical movement that influenced European literature in the 18th century. The Enlightenment promoted values like liberty, progress, tolerance, fraternity, constitutional government, separation of church and state. All these are ideal keywords there in Enlightenment age. And the Enlightenment age was preceded and overlaps by the scientific revolution, scientific things, and the works by Kepler, you might have heard, Galileo Galilei, one of the earliest scientists, Francis Bacon, you might have studied the works of Francis Bacon, like Of Study, of Knowledge, of Tree. There are so many works. Gassendi, Newton, Isaac Newton, and other writers, personalities, other influential personality related to this particular age of enlightenment are Descartes, Kant, Immanuel Kant, Hobbes, Spinoza, and Leibniz, and also John Locke. So in your option, Descartes were there. Both of them are associated with the age of enlightenment. I hope student you got this. Now the second last question on your screen is, which of the following D.H. Lawrence is written in Italy and published in 1928, banned in England for its sexual content? Very popular book written by D.H. Lawrence, which was banned in England because of its sexual content, was Lady Chatterley's Lover. You know the Rainbow, Women in Love, both are sequel novel to each other, Sons and Lover as well. These four are representative works written by D.H. Lawrence. After this class, student, you should go through these works. D.H. Lawrence major works, you can see. As you know, he is one of the greatest imaginative novelist of generation of modern age, D.H. Lawrence. He has written many wonderful novels like The White Peacock, The Treepasser, Sons and Lovers, The Rainbow, Women in Love. I strictly recommend you to read these novels. You will enjoy and you will learn so many things. और सबसे जो इंटरेस्टिंग बात है कि ये सारे नॉवेल से क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा आपके अपकमिंग एग्जाम में, राइट? Short stories, and D.H. Lawrence also written a plays like The Daughter-in-Law and The Widowing of Mrs. Holroyd. The last question on your screen is it's related to translation studies, student. Give me 5 minutes, okay. So the last question on your screen is related to translation studies. Arrange the steps of the translation process in the correct order. The first question is analysis of the source language text in order to decode its meanings. Second option is transfer. थर्ड ऑप्शन इज रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग. आप पहले सोचो कि जब आप ट्रांसलेट करते हो, ट्रांसलेशन जो ट्रांसलेटिंग प्रोसेस होता है उसमें सबसे पहले क्या होता है? ऑफ कोर्स आप एनालाइज करते हो चीज़ों को, उसके बाद आप ट्रांसफ़र करते हो, उसके बाद रीस्ट्रक्चर का प्रोसेस होता है. रीस्ट्रक्चरिंग का प्रोसेस आता है. So obviously A, B, C, these are in the correct manners. I hope student you enjoyed this 3 session of PYQs of 2024. In next class I'll try to analyze these the remaining questions in 2 classes. Like 30 questions we already have done. So in upcoming classes, in 2 classes, we will do 15. I'll try my best to do 15 questions in 1 class, and all those books which I have recommended in today's session, and strictly I have suggested you to read in last session as well. You after this class you will read, even at least you can study the summary of all those major authors, all those major works, because in your upcoming exam direct question will be asked to you. So I believe in you student, you will follow me, I know. So all the best, keep preparing, and we will meet in next session of PYQ series.